I don't know what it's like to have my father hug me and say, you know, man, you're gonna be good. And y'all my brothers, so I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was gonna fudge it, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm 51 years old at the time. And I'm crying. I ain't cried in 30 years. Because it hurts to feel. Man, listen, as a sole provider, I can't be in a fetal position. I got bills to pay.
Dude, I'm realizing now there's decades of my life where I've operated and moved, but not in a place of openness with the heart, even though it hurts.
How can you be a good father, man, if you don't know what it feels like to be a son?
God is waiting for you to open the door to those that are looking for your kind of brokenness.
My dad, I don't want to cast aspersions towards him, man, because he did the best he could. But even unintentional cuts bleed.
Wow.
Driven by purpose, walking God's plan. You're looking at a certified man.
What's up, family, and welcome once again to The Certified Man. My name is KD Bo. I help men become the best version of themselves by helping them to go within, deal with all of the stuff so they can get out in these streets and shine, be all up in the video dancing. What? Where'd that come from? Anyway, I'm here. The boys are back in town, fellas.
What's up, good people? It's Pastor Derwin Davis. I'm excited to be here with my brothers. Y'all, it's been a long time, but I'm glad to be back.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
I thought of the bet you. I didn't even know the words. Hey, I'm Jasper Williams. Where am I supposed to be looking? We already starting. Am I this camera? Don't
even worry about it.
All right. Well,
lift your eyes to the heels.
I'm Jasper Williams III. I am a new podcaster, the host of Legacy Conversations. I have so much other stuff I do. I preach, I teach, I sing, I do some of everything. Also proud to be the pastor of the church, ATL.
So how's it been for y'all? Everything good?
Man, everything's good, man. Just, I'm in a season of building with, a marriage, work, life, working on this doctorate, man. So it's like I'm at a place of boots on the ground and building it moment by moment.
You got a fan yet?
You said I got a fan.
Did you pop your fan? Boots on the ground, clack, clack.
Lord Jesus. All right.
I'm on one today. I just want y'all to know I am on one.
Okay.
I just had to.
First of all, I will never have a fan out there twirling my hip.
You did at your wedding.
No, he didn't have a fan.
Never did that.
He didn't have a fan at the wedding.
Wasn't fans at Doc.
He didn't have a fan at the wedding.
Doc, dude.
This is live,
this
right?
Dude just tried me.
I'm your big brother. Hey. You can't say nothing.
But
I'm your
Hey, but you and your wife, man, y'all was out. Y'all was dancing. We had a great time,
man. That's what we want. Yes, it's always about a great time. But no, man, it's just a season of a building, man.
Yeah.
It's a season of building.
Yeah. I was on my way to work. Just couldn't sleep. Came to work super early. And so I'm going to tell the story. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a little long, but I'm going to get there. So I'm driving and I got hungry. I thought I was hungry. So I said, well, let me stop by this Waffle House, give me a little breakfast sandwich. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to keep going. And the closer I got downtown, I was starting to get hungrier.
Right.
And so I remember there was a Waffle House off of Claremont. So I get off at the Waffle House, go inside, and I order my sandwich. And she's like, hey, would you like a refreshing drink to go with that? I said, no, I think I'm good. No, thank you. Got my food, paid for it, went outside, and there was a thirst that came over me like you wouldn't believe. But instead of going back in, because that would be a little embarrassing, because I said no twice, I went over to the BP. As I'm going to the BP station, I saw a car that had a flat tire. The driver's side rear tire, and the lights were flashing, relatively newish looking car. So I go inside, I got something to drink, came out, and this lady with a mask on, like she maybe 60 something. I thought she was homeless personally. Hey, excuse me. You know how they do. Hey, excuse me. I thought she was like, hey, you got a couple dollars?
Right.
But she didn't say that. She said, you know of a tow truck that can kind of help me out? And I'm like, it's like 4:00 in the morning. I don't know of anything, but I kept it moving. I said, nah, unfortunately, I'm sorry. So as I'm pulling off, ain't nobody but the law to do this. And y'all my brothers, so I'm going to tell you the truth. I was going to fudge it, but I'm going to tell you the truth. It might not make it. But I'm going to tell you the truth. As I'm pulling back, I hear that oh so familiar voice said, if she was fine, would you help her?
That's legitimate, though.
If she was fine, would you help her?
That's legitimate.
And I said, dang it. So I had to check myself. Got out, changed her tire. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, you may have a spare tire. She had a spare tire, changed it, went on. What I owe you? Ma'am, you don't owe me anything. She's a grandmother, 66 years old, whatever. So came to work, driving. I'm like, I don't know what this was. I don't know why I stopped at this one. I don't know why I didn't get something to drink over there. I don't know why I even couldn't sleep and came out here. But I helped her and got her straight. Man, I got to work. Let me tell you something that's happened since that happened. I said, maybe it's a blessing gonna happen here. Since that happened, I have had 4 tours.
Wow.
In business that came.
And you never do no one-offs.
Today.
Wow.
Yeah. Today.
Wow.
Yeah. I got 1 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I got 4 today.
Wow.
Ooh, so a total of 5, 6 Sunday.
Yes. And these are multiple city tours. So, I mean, you know, very, 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 very lucrative week. And I just feel like when you move in integrity, and I even hated the fact that I even had to say it like that, but I mean, that's the truth. When you check yourself when ain't nobody looking, and you say, what's your motive? Why you helping? Why are you slowing down? Why are you giving attention? Even in church, why are you giving that offering?
Right.
Why are you giving it that way? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that? Even if you're saying all the right stuff, why are you saying it like that? You could say the right stuff with a little nice, nasty tone. Sometimes when I'm talking to my wife and I know I'm spot on, but I also know she's getting on my nerves and I have to watch that tone. And then when I get by myself, I'm like, oh, why you say it like that? Check your motives. And so I just think that as men, that's one of the things that we really do have to do. We got to check. We got to do a motive check for everything that we do, bro. Everything. Hey, why you choose to go down this hallway?
Right.
As opposed to down that hallway.
Right.
Because I'm going to go there. But y'all, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm curious about how we define or how we show love.
Yikes.
Meaning, we all have a go-to. And I don't want to tell mine because I've talked enough. I'll tell you in a minute. But I want to hear y'all's. What's your go-to when you show love?
Let me ask you before answer the question. Are you saying that what you did was a demonstration of love? Are you directly tying that to your question?
No, but we can.
Okay, because to me, it's very logical, and because it was an act of love.
Yeah.
And was an act of love towards her. I think of the in scripture where the priest walked by, the deacon walked by, everybody walked by, and it took one to stop and say who was not religious.
Yeah.
And got the man out, took him to the hotel, bandaged him up. So I see an act of love in what you said, but I also see that you received financially what you received out of obedience.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So even when we give, you use that example of church. When we give, why do we give? How do we give? I mean, we have to give not because of any other motive of being seen, not being seen, but we have to give out of obedience. And there have been some times when there has been an offertory challenge that I do not respond because I don't believe it's my time to give that amount of money. And there have been some times that I haven't had it. And there's the response, and I operate in the response. So what I'm saying is that obedience is better than sacrifice. And when we listen to that voice and we begin to follow that voice, then you start to see the fruit of your obedience.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on record to say that it's going to look like a financial blessing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I am saying that when we obey, that there's something attached to that. And it could have been that the question you ask yourself, if she were fine, would you have helped? Maybe that would have netted something differently. But you said that a voice, and I cannot
That
help
all too familiar voice.
I cannot help make that akin to the voice of the Holy Spirit that lives on the side of you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. That is how, I mean, acts of service is my thing. It is how I show love. And to be quite frank, if she was fine and I heard that same voice say, you better drive, I'd have been obedient to that as well. So it ain't about the looks of it, but that was the thing that made me check myself. Why would you not check to see if this woman who is out here by herself in this 35-degree weather, by the way, needs some help? So I know I used to do it all the time. I would never see a woman stranded and I just wouldn't stop and help. But I guess I was on one and people, I was thinking that maybe somebody could come by. It could be a scam. It could be all the things, but how could it be that? It could have been all of that. But one thing about it, one thing that would have not slipped past the scam test was the voice.
Yeah.
Once I heard the voice, I was good.
Right.
But I think what you just put on display, people say, well, how do I know it's God talking to me? What you just said, the scam voice or not or whatever. But I also think that you passed the heart test. Maybe you didn't know that you were taking a heart test. HEART.
Yeah. No,
and so good. For you to have passed the heart test, I mean, there's so many possibilities that we have to wait until we get to heaven and look through heaven's archives to be able to get the answer to this question. All we know is the outcome.
Yeah, the other thing is this. I was glad I knew how to change a tire. And I started thinking about my son, like,
I don't know that I would have been able to help the lady.
Hey, twin, do you know how to change a tire?
I do not know that I would have been able to help the lady.
Yes, you would have.
To change a tire?
Yes.
That's what that little button is for in the car. When you hit that. I've never changed a tire. Never. I watched somebody do it. But change a tire.
You can't hide money, boy. You want to tell something you can't hide money.
It's in the trunk. But how you get underneath that little thing to look if you have a spare. But no, I am not inclined to use my hands.
Nah, Doc. No. That is going to come to an end.
Doc.
It ain't going to be this week, but next week, you're going to change a tire.
You're not the boss of me, but if I still got the little red button.
You got the button, and we can use that later.
Listen, we're going to get you a good 4-way lug wrench.
Yep.
Get you a good, I want to call one of those cranking jacks.
Yes.
And just go ahead.
Oh my gosh, she had one of them raggedy ones.
I'm not gonna say anything.
It's all good,
because y'all might go in on me, but fine.
It's a blessing to be able.
I already know.
The comments would go in on me.
Nah, they'd be all right. Listen, they can be fine.
You said the red button. Everybody didn't grow up with no red button. Everybody
and his side, he got the special lug nut that you got to put on there because some
the lock.
The lock.
He got locked.
That's his car. That's his.
Shout out to all the folks that know how to change a tire by
shout out to all them folk that got a red button.
Yeah, well, just in case you somewhere where that red button ain't working or whatever, you got to know how to change the tire. We're gonna help you with that.
Okay, that's what chat or YouTube is for.
I wish we had.
Well, you don't need chat or YouTube, but you got me.
You
got KD too.
I need the opportunity to change, and then
I'm not telling you to change a carburetor. do cars still have carburetors? I don't think they have carburetors anymore, do they?
No.
Fuel injection. Yeah. I'm not changing a carburetor.
I wish y'all could have seen how both of y'all looked at me when I said that. I'm like, I've gone too far.
It was a judgment.
A whole bucket full.
I'm sorry. I mean, I apologize.
This joker right here, JW. You ain't never. I think you thought I was saying it incorrectly, so I appreciate.
I was seeking clarification. I didn't know. Yes, I've learned. That's a blessing.
It is.
Every man need to know how to do that. Okay, so let me jump to this one. I need to be clear about this. How do you show love? What's your go-to? Now, we may show love in different ways, but what's your go-to for showing love? Family, friends, wife, whatever.
Acts of service is typically the way that I show love.
Mm-hmm.
And financially, that's the typically way I show love.
What about you?
For me, it's touch. That's what I need.
That's what you need, or that's what you show?
No, that's what I need.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I want to be touched, and I also want to be seen in a way that my contribution has registered. Now, wait a minute, hold on. I missed a side. One is what I need. The other is what I see. Acts of service. So my default to give in a demonstration of love is acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me tell you something. I'm gonna take liberty here, but it took me a while, even after I came to understand the love languages, to really get it. And sometimes I still don't remember what I have gotten. So let me just use it and couch it in the context of my wife and I. It's almost like when you're giving your love, or you're showing love language on how you want to show love language, but it's not registering with them. I always use this phrase. It's like giving your woman a Snicker and she want a Kit Kat. It doesn't register.
Yeah.
They both chocolate,
but it ain't.
But she has an affinity for Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Right.
My intention to love her or to show my love, it doesn't measure. It doesn't register.
So you're saying that your love language is touch and what else?
What other ones?
Let me say something. So touch, acts of service, words of affirmation.
Yes. That
quality time. And gifts.
I got all 5.
Well, so for me, you routinely show you are going to gifts is your thing.
Oh, for sure.
Gifts and
no, that's what I show.
Yes.
You show.
Okay.
Yeah. But so what's interesting is what we show is oftentimes the thing that we appreciate as well. Like my wife is gifts and quality time. Gifts and quality time, her all day long. Mine is words of affirmation. And it's starting to become a half and half with touch and acts of service. But it was always words of affirmation, acts of service. But now touch is kind of becoming that thing for me. Like, I mean, I'm not just talking about just my wife, just in general. Like when I show love, man, I touch, I grab your shoulder. It's touch. And I don't know what that is. I think I got that from you.
What?
Because that's you.
Touch.
You do that.
Yeah,
anytime
bro. You walk by?
Yeah.
We can be somewhere and I know you,
I think
and
it's
I don't
more
even
disarming.
know. I can know you have entered the room and just because that way that you're gonna do shoulder. That's a JW grab on the shoulder. I know you're there.
I think it might be more disarming. At least to me it is.
Man, I watch you when you be praying for brothers sometime. It's the same thing, man. It's like it's touch for you, bro. Somewhere or another, it's touch. And I'm not saying you're fondling. I'm saying touch.
But let me, to have brothers in one sense,
I was supposed to laugh.
Grab on the shoulder when I enter the room to fondling. I don't like that. That's got me back about that.
It's not a fondling. But I just go ahead.
Now I was going to say, could it not be considered who the act of love is being demonstrated to?
I think the audience is very important because that's why it's a love language.
So does it change?
Very much so.
Okay.
I believe it does change. We have primary ones that we speak from.
It's if I've heard you correctly, you were dealing with which is the one that's our default that's easiest for us to show to another.
Yes.
But especially when it comes to different relationships, whether it be your spouse, whether it be your significant other, whether it be your children, whether it be your family members, whether it be, because I think there's love languages in a corporate setting. There's love languages in a brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
How fluid are you?
That's an area I'm working.
Which one?
Talking about in love languages, because the love languages I love to receive is words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service. And if I had to give them, I would give it 40, 30, 30.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation and physical touch, and then acts of service, they run about 30, and it depends on what's going on in the week. They can fade up or slide up or down.
You're not a quality time guy? I am not. And that's my wife.
My wife is definitely a quality time. And so that's an area. I mean, man, all of the stuff that's going on. So time is never, time is my deficit. So even making that and being intentional in that area, that's a huge thing. And it's all, another thing I've learned with love languages is whatever is your deficit, oftentimes what you don't have the most of is often the language that's required to be paid.
To be paid?
Yes. So if I don't have the time,
I got you.
then that's what they need, the time.
Quality
if
time.
If I don't have the resources, that's when I need the resources. But it's like whatever there's a deficit in, that's when it's technically required to be up. And so that's a thing where growing in the love languages to be able to communicate that, because you're having a conversation, one person is speaking French, another person is speaking Spanish,
Portuguese, yeah.
Portuguese, or even a dialect, and somebody else is speaking patois.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's you're not dialing in my language.
Yeah.
And that's important that we develop the Duolingo of love languages to help that converse.
So when you all, either both, when you're deficit or depleted, I don't know what the right adjective is, how do you get it met?
When my love language is not met?
Correct. So if you're lacking on gifts, what'd you say yours were? Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, acts of service, and touch.
All right. So if you're lacking on, let's just say, touch.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm quick to, depending on who it is. Is my wife?
Yeah.
Hey, touch me right there.
Yeah.
Right there. Touch me here.
All right.
Like you got a Frenchie, I got a Frenchie.
Yeah.
Them dogs, when they want to be touched, they make it very clear. They walk up to you.
Yep.
Walk right up to you. Let them know.
Yeah.
Let you know.
Yeah.
And so for me,
what about a guy who that Frenchie act is not enough?
Wow.
Or the touch is just sloppy, or it's unintended, or it's just done.
It's lackluster. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
what about that guy or that girl who has to contend with something sloppy?
I get exactly what you're saying. Go ahead, DZ.
There's a book that was a tremendous blessing called "You Are the One You've Been Waiting For."
Yeah, that's a staple.
And so there's some areas that whenever there's a deficit without, is learning how to turn that inward and knowing and recognizing this need is valid. Because sometimes the need is valid, you desire that, but the other person don't have the capacity to give it.
It ain't.
And it's also, I call it certain times of fasting that it's learning to go without until you can communicate effectively what's needed and what's desired. And that's a tough place to be in. But one of the most dangerous things that I've learned over life is needing something and getting that need met in the wrong area.
Oh, wow. Or needing something and not having the proper language to express it. Real life example. I'm talking to my wife about something last night, and she absolutely was not getting it. And so I'm listening to her and I'm talking to myself at the same time. And I'm saying, okay, I know now. Okay, sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's me.
Yeah.
But I know it right now. This is something else. You talking about this, but it's actually something else. And I listened, and then I got it. I said, "Oh, man, you should have just said," which I shouldn't have said it like that.
I was about to say,
But right, I said this, but then I went and affirmed it. But I'll tell you what I said. So you should have just said, "I miss you, and I really want to spend time with you. I miss you, and I really want to spend time with you." That would have went off a little better than the way you handled it. So what it was is, and I do this too. Shame to say I do this. You, instead of saying, "I want this," you blame them for not giving you. So you blame them for what they're not doing as opposed to saying what you want.
Huge.
Do you get that?
Yeah, no, 1,000.
You grab that? Because that's a distinction.
No, 1,000. Mm-hmm. Dr. John Gottman has, and then you got the Gottman Institute.
Yeah.
A GOTTMAN. Follow them. He has this thing, anytime there's a concern or something, pull out your notebook and write it down. So I got my notebook out and writing it down. And my wife says this statement. She says, I'm asking, what's one thing you need from me? She says, tell me what you need without giving me a complaint.
Damn.
Wow. Shoot, that just registered for me.
And so I was like, what do you mean?
That's how we say we want
and
something.
So she says, one thing I need for you to do is to get down to the bottom of what you need. Tell me that without giving me the complaint. And so it took me a week because I'm in my notebook. Well, I need this, but I'm telling you what happened. I'm playing back in the time. Well, I wanted the Skittles on Monday, but I didn't get them because they weren't in the store. And then, I didn't get it from the grocery store. And I'm going back and replaying all the events versus just saying, I need some Skittles. And I really like yellow
Has
and
she
green.
been listening to Gottman?
I don't think she's been. Well,
So that was just a core
that was my
state of clarity.
Let me tell you how I got to Gottman. Gottman says that whenever you have a deficit in listening, my mind, I can get squirrels. I'm scattered. So,
I know about you, squirrels.
Get me stuck.
it was, you're not hearing me. That statement. You didn't hear what I said. So I took my notepad out. Tell me what you said. I write it down, and I'm able to go back and refocus on it.
Does it help you?
Yes, because it allows me to sit back and say, because I had to think about it. What do you mean I'm not telling you? You saying I'm telling you what I need with complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what it is.
Cause my wife will say this. All right, bro, I don't get off the topic. My wife will say, you making it about you.
Oh,
She'll say, no. It's two things she'll say. She said, you're making it about you. And I'm like, my mind, I'm like, well, it is about me. That's one. Number two is, yeah, but you're not hearing what I'm saying.
And so that
Were
hearing
you
that,
just listening to what was going on in my house?
You got that too?
Shoot.
Dude,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
so-
I'm in the topic of conversation. How's this not about me?
so in my attempt,
Then it became about me again.
but in my attempt to not try to make it about me is grabbing the notepad and then realizing, all right, one of the needs is she's like, if you express your need, tell me what you need without giving a complaint. And I had to sit with it. It took me a week to go back and write down, because every time I would think about what I need, I thought about the time I didn't get it. Or this, I shouldn't have had this here, should have hit this here, and should have hit this here. And so that's huge, because oftentimes, back to the question was, how when there's a deficit, we can express we need their need. Well, one of the ways that I've failed in it in the past is I'm complaining about the need. I'm asking for, I need some WD-40 on it, but I'm squealing.
So instead of saying, I need, babe, I could really use some WD-40. And I noticed that you have a bunch of that. Can I get some WD-40? Instead, we complain about the squeaking.
Exactly.
And how you never.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I need gas.
That's such a paradigm shift, bro.
I need some gas. But we saying, man, you keep running out the tank and this is empty and passing all the gas stations. We talking about, and you riding on E? No, I need gas.
And the thing is, we will say, because we logical like that, we will say, but I told you. Why didn't you just tell me that? I told you. No, you didn't. So sometimes it's not the fact that we didn't say it. We said it in a way that they couldn't receive it. Bro, man.
100.
Man, Lord help me, because I know.
And it was, and vice versa. It was said in a way that we couldn't receive it. Because a lot of time I told you, this is what I need, and this is what I need, and this is there. So this need and love language area becomes a huge moment, because some of the things that matter the most to vice versa on whatever sides is oftentimes where the bridges have breakdown. And it's like I'm learning, especially if we're having this conversation as brothers, because it looks like we've all been on the same side of making it about ourselves.
You married to a woman, right? you married to a woman. I married to a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I think some of this stuff, man, is just
my woman's so woman till she had 2 kids. All right.
Yep. Mine had 3. So Lord, wait a minute. I'm just stop talking, because
probably best.
Sometimes.
We were out once, and a woman, two situations. One woman said, I think it is so incredible how y'all openly love each other. And my first response was, but then secondly, I was like, I get it. Cause when we about to leave, man, we dap each other up. Love you, man.
It's a whole vibe.
Love you, bro. And then there are other guys that want to express themselves that way, but they don't. Man, I don't say his name. We just saw him the other night. Just the thought of telling another dude that you love him, it's like give you the heebie-jeebies. But in truth, if you just relax your mind, you realize, man, I kind of want that. I want to have that closeness, and it don't mean that you funny and nothing like that.
You have to be able to distinguish the two. That there's an Eros love, and then there's a Philadelphia love, and that they are very, very different. Right. And I think that is a marker of consideration.
Why'd you say Philadelphia? That really blessed me right then.
Squirrels.
Yes.
He said Philadelphia. Hey, no. He said Philadelphia love. I know what he meant.
You know, it's brotherly of love.
Phileo. Phileo.
You want the right way.
I don't know if it's phileo or something, because I think that's something else too, though. But that's definitely a squirrel. But go ahead. No, don't stop you.
I don't even remember what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, man.
But you know what?
You have to be able to distinguish between
the two as a man.
Yeah.
But let me say this. When it comes down to squirrels, what are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at you. Talking about squirrel. And all I can see is a squirrel right now. I want to go somewhere else. Go ahead.
When it comes down to squirrels, that affects how it is that we show our love also.
Say more.
So in other words, if the issue is you don't see me or it's about you, of course you can say, well, but you do such and such. To me, that is making it about me. So if I'm in the conversation with you about this matter that includes me, and then now I'm asking a question for clarity and I get you're making it about you. Okay. What I'm talking about is if I'm in this conversation with you and then I replay another conversation, maybe that was 2-3 days later,
definitely
or
squirrel.
Maybe it's about something else that was loosely connected.
Yeah.
That is indeed a squirrel language. Now, that is my problem. I have to contend with that because of ADHD.
Yeah.
So when I'm in conversation, if I don't grab the thought, like I've been
write
doing,
it down. I see.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Or put it some kind of way. I'll keep saying, I'm looking and I'll go, time. Because I don't want to forget what I'm about to say. Yeah. But what I'm trying to do is express or show how whoever it is that's listening to us, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. Right. That to chase squirrels could be an indicator you might want to go be tested for ADHD. Does this show up in different areas of your life where squirrels are always present? And I know that it has affected my marriage. For example, and I'll relinquish the floor so somebody else can reclaim the time. Got ready to leave early today. I go outside to get the groceries out of the car. The car is locked. So I go to all the doors, all of them locked. I just don't want to go back in the house in the kitchen because I know that they're in the little bowl. Here goes my shortcut behind self. The windows are down. So I'm reaching in the window, trying to hit the unlock button, when all I had to do was carry my tail back in the house and grab them. So now what do? When I get in the house, I said, baby, you locked the door. I didn't lock the door. I said, baby, you locked the door.
Did she lock the door?
I didn't lock the door. I said, baby, I pulled on the doors. None of the doors are open. You locked the door. I didn't lock the door.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So it was something that, because how the car automatically locks the doors.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in a rental car. So it automatically locks the doors. No, she got out, turned it off, and then it locked. Because when you walk away with it with the keys, it automatically locks.
That's right.
So she was right. She didn't lock the door. I'm saying, you locked the door. How did the door get locked?
Yep.
But I'm only bringing that up is because even as we're talking about laying it on someone else, even though it's not, it can become about us. We can force a false reality or false narrative in the moment because we want to be right. We want to be understood. We want to be heard. And squirrel, another moment. Ooh, I'm gonna just leave it right there.
Man, so you had something? So one thing that I've known this for a while. What I do not do is when my wife or even somebody else says something that I did that offended them. And this is the thing that really got me out of it last night, because I'm not always good at it. But this is the thing that got me through it, not out of it, but through it, because I was really able to be present and hear her express her frustration. Now, her frustration was not about the thing, but I couldn't stop my mind from realizing, what is this about? This don't even make sense. What you said, I'm not even that person. And you know I ain't that person. What is this about? In my mind, I ain't say that. It's when they say something, never, ever, 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 ever say, well, you do X, Y, Z too.
It's taken me this long to learn that. 28 years.
Oh, bro, if you say, well, you do so too. Okay, well,
It's about you. I was making it about you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You had plenty of time to bring that up. Could have already brought that up. Right. But I'm bringing up this situation now. So I really would not like to share the floor. Let's deal with this situation right now.
And then me, I said, well, I just remembered.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Remembered it.
No, die. Wow.
A lot of people, get back to the love thing. A lot of people, man, they don't get that part, especially brothers, which is why I'm really in that space of now wanting to showcase more of that, what it looks like for brothers to love each other,
man,
out loud.
It's such an amazing thing, and how the love flows. We can have 5 minutes, we having fun talking, DeKalb County sanitation worth of trash. The next,
I'm sorry.
It took you a minute.
I just caught that. Oh my goodness, sanitation worker trash. Okay, all right.
It's a garbage truck full. I mean, it's going. Then 5 minutes later, somebody is getting hot combed or permed in an area for improvement of character, manhood, personal. I mean, the challenges and the correction that comes through the brotherhood goes to another level.
Yeah.
We was just clowning. Then it's like, hey, this is that challenge. Here we go. Then you got the prophet, man of God moments that come out. That's there.
Yeah.
Then you got, hey man, how are you? You can't hide from me, brothers.
Yeah.
Then you got, I call it that force that bonds together.
Yeah.
And once you see it, that connection hits, and it's like a rechargeable battery. You get in that moment, we're tired, we work, we done whatever, but even though it's late, there's a recharge, and it's like, hey, let's go.
Kind of reminds me of 300. 300 when Gladiators.
Yes.
And there's just something about that energy. And when everybody's tired, everybody been fighting, everybody got the battle wounds, but we got one that stands up and they lock arms and they ready to go get to the field.
Yeah. And that's what the brotherhood does. And it's times that come out of that moment, recharge. There's times I hear the brothers' voices, the things that are said.
Me too. Are you making direct reference to our group?
Yes.
Okay, so I and the reason why I asked that, even though I knew that's what you were talking about, is because I think we have unearthed a very real problem or potentially a potential problem with men because they do life by themselves.
Man, you cannot do life.
Or if they're in a group, they withhold a portion of themselves.
Bro, I would be out. I would lose. I would be destroyed right now trying to do life by myself. I got too much, too heavy, it's just impossible. Like the statement that I'm eating from you all from the last conversation is about blind spots. And y'all know, you probably don't even remember it because
like blind spots.
Dude, y'all were on me about blind spots 3 weeks ago. And it's like now there's a level of being around the brothers because I'm like, I don't know what my blind spots are.
Let me tell you this. One of the reasons why I know that you're not filibustering is because in the midst of all you're doing, adding a doctoral program, you still are going to keep, I'm going to use the word important, the times that we connect. That one time throughout the course of the week, even if the many times we've gotten the text, I'm in the car finishing a paper. I'm here, but I'm such and such. Yep. And then I can even hear the sadness when you're not going to make it tonight. Brothers, I'll catch y'all on next one. Have fun. So what I'm saying to you is that there is an energizing that happens. There is a galvanizing that happens. So I know you're not telling.
Oh no, because it calibrates. It cultivates. It cuts. I mean, there's times I've had to go back out and like, dude, this is a thing. Like this blind spot area is such a huge point for me, especially in this season of like, because blind spots can cause one of the worst accidents.
Yep.
Because you are moving and switching lanes, not seeing what's on beside you, and it's catastrophic, and you're moving in such a space.
Why do we think car manufacturers have made them a part automatically of a car driving situation? Because they understand the danger of blind spots.
And what was so powerful about the moment of blind spots, you all didn't catch it. Bo mentioned a blind spot. You were in the bathroom. He was like, D,
let me just
check out for you. He just check out for your blind spot.
Mm.
He gets up, goes somewhere else. You come back from the bathroom. Man, I just see blindness, man. You just got to be aware.
But the truth is, man, a blind spot is not a blind spot to everybody, man. I think we need to be clear on that. A blind spot is not a blind spot to everyone. It's a blind spot to you.
Well, here's the thing.
And that's the reason why you have to have
brothers,
community, or a apparatus like a car that can see for you. I'm okay, since we're talking, this one just exposed me to one of probably the blind spot of my entire adult life.
What you talking about, Willis?
And I didn't know. I had no idea.
He may not want to say on camera. He just got exposed to it.
No, you know. I just don't want to cry on the camera.
But I even felt that you pulled it back. You like you spoke, but yeah,
I got you.
Yeah,
Because trying to give me the hint. I didn't catch it.
But you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so, but the thing about it, he had the courage, even when it was, because when he tapped on it, it's a little uncomfortable. You know me, I'm gonna use humor, and I'm gonna try to with humor. Okay. He's like, nope. We're gonna sit right here. We're gonna sit in this. We'll sit in this. I was like, wow.
You know what you said? You don't have to do a teacher. What does it mean to sit in something? What is this?
Because now I'm trying, bro, I'm not trying to feel, I'm trying to think. Because it hurts to feel. Some stuff, man, you don't even know.
Say that again.
It hurts to feel. Like there's some things, man, that I call myself compartmentalizing, but in actuality, I was just putting it in a box and leaving it. Because to open it up and deal with it, it hurts too bad. And I man, listen, as a sole provider, I can't be in a fetal position. I got bills to pay.
Dude.
I got to move.
I went back and pulled out Way of Superior Man. Just, and beginning chapters. Live with your heart open.
With an open heart.
Even though it hurts.
Even if it hurts you. Yep.
And it whooped me.
Yep.
And before I pulled it out, the Lord challenged me. He's like, you're not living like a cross. You're openness. And so I'm realizing now there's decades of my life where I've operated and moved, but not in a place of openness with the heart, even though it hurts. So learning how to feel the hurt and still move, and that's a new area. I'm a baby in it. It's a challenging moment. That's a major blind spot because that takes courage, that takes kahunas, that takes vulnerability to be able to say, you know what, this hurt the hell out of me, but I still want to. And it's a major thing for me because I can't help but think about Jesus on the cross, that he died in an open position that they were still able to pierce him in the side.
What you mean?
He stretched out. To live with an open heart, you stretched out. They still had access to go to the side. He's already in pain. So many times we're in pain, we tighten up because I'm hurting. I'm defensive. I'm protective.
If Jesus did not have the nails in his hand, you think he would have closed his arms?
No.
And I think that's important because we have an option to close our arms.
And that's one thing that I've learned. That's the thing that I've learned from the area of brotherhood and moving is don't close your arms.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the daily encouragement that Paul said. present yourselves, therefore, brethren, as a holy, acceptable sacrifice. So it is a daily thing that we have to make the choice. And Jesus was our sacrifice. So even if we end up here at the end of the day, we got to open that thing up tomorrow again.
And an honest assessment. Because it doesn't negate that this hurt. It doesn't negate that this was painful. It doesn't negate that this was devastating. But what it says is, even though this was painful, even though this was devastating, I am choosing a level of openness and flowing. And that's a place of manhood that's like, dude, got to grow in, got to move in, because not doing that is moving from the head, moving from the hand, but it's not moving from the heart.
Wow. Man, I've been listening to a lot of Jack Frost, a lot of his stuff, man. And then there's one particular CD I'm listening to, and it made me really pause, and I can't really move as fast as I want to through it, because I would just go through it real fast. But man, I keep coming back to this part, like to be able to come home, like to be able to come home. And when he says home, he talks about home as a place of warmth, security, comfort, affirmations, protection, destiny and purpose, encouragement, love, feeling seen, heard, understood, to come home. And I realized, bro, I didn't have that. I didn't have that. I don't know what it's like to have my father hug me and say, man, you're going to be good. I don't know what that feels like. And so how can you be a good father, man, if you don't know what it feels like to be a son?
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when I think about my dad, I don't want to cast aspersions towards him, man, because he did the best he could. But even unintentional cuts bleed.
Wow.
And I think about when I'm looking for, even all my life, bro, like as I got older, I'm looking for father figures. Not that I didn't have a powerful dad. My dad was great from here. But there was no connection here. And so I didn't know how to connect with my emotions. It took a long time. Hell, it took what was that, a year ago, year and a half ago? 2 years ago?
About a year and a half.
Yeah, for me to, man, I'm 51 years old at the time. And I'm crying that I ain't cried in, I'd be saying 20, but I ain't cried in 30 years. I ain't cried. But I made that connection. So I'm saying, I think that it is important for us. When I say, how do you show love? Most of the time, man, we have one go-to. But love is a cornucopia of different shades and hues.
I don't want to push past that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, your words may have turned their ears off. Meaning they just saw their own father. Maybe they saw their own father in an absent place because dad wasn't there. They aren't sure who their father is. They had the wrong man that they were associating as a father. So all of these kind of fathering things, even in your honesty, and I might not even, I dare not say even in your honoring way, I think that for our parents' generations, it's the way that they showed love was with resources. I know how my dad did.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down the list of accoutrements that, that were presence and access, that was present or access to whatever. But that was just dad's way of showing me that he loved me.
Yeah.
And when we can see their attempt, there could have been all kind of stuff they were doing wrong. It could have been abuse. It could have been prison. Whatever it is that caused there to be their absence. They were trying in the way that they knew how to try. Not that it makes it feel any better for us.
Yeah. No. You're right.
But for us to get to a place to where we can give them just a little more grace. But that takes
open.
Yeah, and I've done that. I've done that part of giving him grace. Now, this that you're hearing now is me going to that box and dealing with the stuff that's in there.
But how many people will never even realize that there is a box and that their pain and that their trauma and all their stuff is in the box and they don't even know where to begin to look, what they don't even know exist. So it's your podcast, but I'm trying to slow down a moment that there can be an opportunity to help guys go back or realize. It's like we know something is back there.
So let me throw this out there and we can add this to it. When I, 2 days ago, understood that the primary factor of me walking for the Lord, living for God, up until I was in my 30s, I'm preaching, doing revivals, the whole nine, was not my love for him. It's my love for my mama.
Really?
I knew to get her love, if I'm doing good in church, I'm gonna get her love. And I'd given up on getting love from my father. I just wanted to stay away from his wrath. So perfection was my thing. So now I got this performance over here, and I got a perfection over here. I was gonna be a people pleaser, bro. Just how it was.
Wow.
And got to understand, I'm just now understanding what that was 2 days ago. And my point to you in this space is we talk about love and we talk about brotherhood and community. Jasper, I never would have saw that, bro. If you had not challenged me, sit your ass in this, man. Don't try to wiggle out of this. Sit in this. I'm going to add that to it while you was giving the...
Yeah, I don't even know where I was going because I think that is the moment, because actually even used in that moment about compartmentalization.
Yeah.
And it's the way that the brain is made. And God loves us so much until he built the system the shutdown system, because the brain can only take so much trauma. I won't even go into how the brain handles trauma. But there's nothing wrong with compartmentalization on purpose.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm in the moment. I've got to get through this 16-8, 200 city tour. And I am responsible for the financial well-being of our home. So this came up. I am going to put this over here until I can come back.
And I never did it temporarily.
And I was about to say, and the problem is when you forget that you put it over there.
Oh, I know it's over there.
And trauma, a wound, it festers. And after a while, we're talking to somebody and they actually bumped their toe. They didn't know the toe was broken. It split down the middle of the toe. XYZ happens, and they had to lose their toe because they didn't even realize the wound.
I did not know that story ended like that. I heard a part of it. I didn't know it ended like that.
The fact that they would not tend to their broken toe caused the situation to end up in an amputation.
Wow.
And we as men, we do that. You know, we got to make it work. We got to get it. You know, we got to hustle. We got to grind. You know, this, that, don't. You know, I'm not finished grind out, walk in the room. I don't have to introduce, all these kinds of things. And we do it for the wrong reason. We do it for labels. We do it for women. We do it for recognition. We do it for whatever the reason is that happens. And so all along the way, we're experiencing this suppression of whatever it may be. In your case, it was your mother. In some other cases, it could be the father they were trying to please.
Yeah.
That was me. And there is a clinical term for that called performance orientation.
Yeah.
When you are performing, when you're tap dancing to get the approval of somebody else. Not just, watch this, it's not just your parents. It can be for you pick the person, the air they serve in your life, and we can kind of become that court jester.
But let me tell you this, though, sometimes it's not even malicious intent. You may have
Most times it's
parents
not.
that are salt of the earth.
Yep.
So let's do same dude, Jack Frost. He was talking about how his daughter was older, and I mean, he prays over her, cries, and just loves her to the point where this joker doing a whole lot of crying on these tapes, and I'm like, hey man, I mean, I hope I ain't going there because that's a lot of crying.
We'll talk about it.
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
There comes a time when God reconnects our tear ducts.
Oh,
And it is a semblance and a meaning of strength.
Jasper.
Because it colors the story in the way you tell it. And you just put yourself on the altar. And now there's a accountability that you have. You cannot unhear what you heard. And for me, that I feel misty-eyed now. Yeah, because I'm sitting here thinking about the guys and the ladies that may be listening to this, but the guys who were told, I know I was, real men don't cry.
That's a lie.
Because it symbolizes weakness.
Yeah.
When to me, it's a real man that's whooping your behind while he crying. Because you've made me so mad, I can feel the infuriation until I am going to tear you a new grocery hole. And this salt water, you better hope it heals it. This salt water coming out my eyes, crying is a symbol of strength. As much as I cry and wailing, I think it's because I feel the burden of men. That this is the problem that was never addressed. We didn't take no home ec. We took home ec. You didn't take feeling yourself, feeling your, oops. You
Wasn't no class for it, but I'm sure that a lot of people, joined in.
That was unintentional humor. In other words, we were never taught how to be in touch with our feelings.
No,
and you
bro,
know where
no,
mine
no.
continued to escalate, and I was getting there. But when I went to treatment, for the mental health situation is when I learned about the science of feeling and how to handle what you feel.
Let me get back to what I was saying real quick. But he said his daughter is, was much older, but then when she was going through something in high school, she wouldn't come to him because she said, I just don't trust you. I don't trust you. He was a life. I mean, he didn't understand what that was about. But then while they were praying and she was able to go back, she was 3 years old and he was on the boat and she was so happy to see him. Ran up, jumped in his lap.
Wow.
Knee first. Hit that special place.
Say less.
And so he's trying to protect himself. And so he gets her. He throws her on the chair that's across the way. Didn't hurt herself or anything. She just wailing, just crying. And that moment was a thing for her where she was like, he's dangerous. And I'm telling you, sometimes subconsciously, we don't even know. You may have been a baby because we have memories all the way back to that. And that's when we formulate. And for me, I'm wondering where was it where I said to myself, hey man, you ain't down. They ain't rocking for you like that. Down, you ain't good enough. Where did that happen? Because when I think about it, I don't know.
There's so much that we could talk about that, I don't know. This is like,
I control the edit, so you can talk about what you want to talk about.
Just like paid stuff. So you got performance orientation.
Yeah.
That's a whole teaching. What you're talking about is bitterroot judgments.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's when you make a judgment, I never will do this. And then because how you feel about somebody else, then you start doing the exact same thing. It comes out of the book of Hebrews. So let me give you an example. My father is very expressive in his face. And there's this snarl that he'll get about himself. I remember when I was with him, as people were talking to him, it's almost like he would not regard what they were saying, but he was hearing everything. And he would sit there, that snarl. I'm like, that is so mean. That is so mean. And typically it didn't matter who it was. It could be a bank, it could be an attorney, it could be anybody, people that worked on the staff, his closest folk. And I made the bitter root judgment. I said, I'll never look at anybody like that. See, the Bible says that the judgment, it spoils the entire container. So when I make the judgment, everything that's there, it gets spoiled.
Wow.
It fast forward 15 years, and Alicia would say, why are you looking at me like that?
Been there.
So look at you like what? Why are you looking at me? It would continue to going. I'm my behind, I'm trying to freeze my face and run to the mirror. I'm like, 'cause I want to see this look. Somewhere between our therapist and the Holy Spirit, I figured out where it was.
Yeah.
It was a bitter root judgment. And it wasn't until I pulled the root up did that facial expression leave, because I was no more in judgment of him. So much that could be said.
Wow.
So for the person that's listening that has made that confession or that judgment, too long,
Again,
too much of a.
There's a whole teaching that goes behind this stuff.
Okay.
And I think what I would say is that God gives grace and God has mercy. So if the Holy Spirit is knocking on your heart,
wow,
then recognize that you've hit on something and that what you've hit on is important to God and therefore should be important to you. So now, since you don't have a teaching, maybe you'll be resourceful and maybe you will go and look up stuff on bitter root judgments. You have enough, the book of Hebrews, and you'll find whatever's there. Maybe there's some deliverance or, some steps you can take. But for those men and women, and I hope women watch this episode because they'll get a chance to get a look on the inside of a man and what he deals with while he's trying to be a man for you. There's a grace and a mercy that God will give. And my prayer would be, if it were me, Father, I don't know what, I can't put language to what I'm feeling, but I know I feel something. I'm going to trust you to help me deal with it. I believe it's that thing he was talking about, bitter root judgments. You help me figure out where it is.
Wow.
And then when you get to wherever it is, then actually use his words. Forgive me for making a judgment, and I release the one that I made the judgment on.
Forgive me for making the judgment, and I release the one that I made the judgment about. See, bro, that's why we have to do community. Because how many people have been struggling? Hell, all my life. Then you meet the one, or you get in the community of brothers that's going where you growing, and it just makes it better, man. We closing, we done. But I'm telling you right now, I would not be in this place in my life,
right,
with this level of peace, with this sobriety of mind, had it not been for y'all.
And don't think for once, so I'm trying to deliberately jump in front of Derwin. I'm in the same place. When I met you, and we've been reconnected now a couple of years.
Yeah.
I was in a space where the Lord had prepared me for. I just didn't know that I was being prepared. And I met a brother in you. I met someone that I could stay like this with. I met someone I could share, the parts of me that nobody else will understand. And 3 words in, you got it. And then there was the reintroduction of Derwin and the other brothers that have a sense of semblance in my life that's very, very special.
Yeah. Hey man, find you a community. We're building it. We're building it. I want you to opt in to the new Certified Man app, because the community, when we talk about the teachings, all of that stuff, like we all have our own communities, but I want all of us to kind of bring them all together. Like, wouldn't you want to hear the teaching on bitter root judgments from Jasper? Wouldn't you want to hear that? Wouldn't you want to know that when you are in a space and you don't fully understand what's going on, wouldn't you know that you got a place you can go to and get some answers? That's what the Certified Man app is going to be. And it's about connecting other brothers, and we got to do life together. If we either live together or we die alone. And with that being said, final thoughts, guys?
I'm reminded it came back literally over 12 years ago. No, even longer than that. It's probably about now at least 15 years. I was flew into DC to go to a retreat for men that dealt with various addictions. Never forget, because I was a pastor, they gave this seminar that other men paid $2,000 for. They gave it to me for free. I just had to fly.
Oh, wow.
Hotel, lodging, everything. I get there, there was approximately 7 other pastors that were in a group. They formed a special group, so they created an area. We had sessions, breakouts, everything, a small group. But then when we left from that area, they created a circle. And the one statement that they said, out of men that were there, spent $2,000 to be in the room. They did an exercise of what their proclivities had cost him. I never forget, there was an Indian gentleman, last name Patel, that he lost over $5 million because of this issue. So everybody's talking about how they lost their family, they've lost this, they've lost this, they've lost this. And the one thing that happened is they said, the only way you have success in this area is by being connected to other brothers.
That's it, bro.
And I came back to Atlanta. They had a group call that was supposed to go on every week. Guys called in. 7. 8 was because the sponsor. Week 2, now 5. Week 3, there's 4. Week 5, there's now 2. Week 6, the group was disbanded. That's when I picked up the phone, because they told me the only way you have victory in this area is you gotta do it with brothers. And that's when I made the call, Pastor E. Dewey Smith, and the next week he introduced me to you. Because I knew the only way, they told me, I seen guys have lost everything. The only way you make it, they said, you gotta have a group of guys together. And as you were talking final thoughts, that played back, I forgot about it. Yeah, man. But when we met downstairs at Thrive, I sat at the table talking to you, knowing that the only way I can have victory in my life is I gotta find some brothers I can do life with. And I'm so thankful to have you guys, and you guys that are there. You gotta get somebody that you can do life with, because that's the only way you're gonna have victory. Yeah, man.
I think Derwin has summed up our thoughts. I think about David, when he thought he was gonna be by himself, the cave of Adullam. Woo!
That's you. Now you're hitting something.
Here he is running from Saul, and David is so emaciated until he's like, I just want to crawl up in a cave and die.
Wow.
And next thing you know, the Bible says those that were in debt, those that were in despair.
Tell it.
And there was another
distressed.
one, those that were distressed. Yeah. It's like David had a GPS system on himself.
Yeah.
And he had dropped his Apple Pen, his location.
Mm.
And they all showed up at the same cave.
A cave.
And they said, you're our leader.
Broken.
And let me just say to somebody that God is waiting for you to open the door to those that are looking for your kind of brokenness.
Mm-hmm.
God uses broken people.
Yes, he does.
David had not been in any kind of leadership camp.
Right.
It was the anointing that was on him.
Bro.
Right.
It was God's grace that was on him.
Right.
It was his purpose that was waiting for him.
Wow.
And those men became his mighty army.
Wow. Love y'all brothers, man. I mean that.
Hey, I love y'all brothers.
And I love you brothers too, man. And listen, do me a favor. Y'all, more people, you're watching it, but I want to make sure that you guys subscribe. I want to take a little time to encourage you to hit that subscribe button, hit the like, comment. This helps the algorithm kind of push it out, let more people hear this. Were you blessed by this? Would you leave a comment and let us know what your thoughts are? All right. Till next time, don't be a man, just be a regular man. You're certified, man. Love you, fam. Man up.
Driven by purpose, walking God's plan. You're looking at a certified man.